we have a couple of minutes to ask clarifying questions because afterwards we're going to go into breakout groups to further discuss the campaigns that have been described to you by our wonderful panelists. So clarifying questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the question was challenges in actually having funding and resources for the campaign.
Mm-hmm. Well, Aquilina or Angelica or anyone else is also feel free to join in. But I think we have really counted on the generosity of some of our really key funders, like the Rosenberg Foundation. But I think that one of the challenges that we've faced is that this campaign requires not only centralized resources, but also resources for every one of our partner organizations. So we've now expanded our coalition into San Diego and into Sonoma County, and deepened it within Los Angeles and San Francisco. And every single one of those organizations needs an organizer and needs, staff. And then at the same time, our communications team, like CIPC, and people who have stepped up to be on different committees, our legal team. So I think one of the challenges has just been how to make sure resources get out to everyone who needs them.
And I would say the quick turnaround to get buses up to Sacramento. Yeah, that's right. Other questions? Yes, John.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, the governor made his own proposal on how to change the Agricultural Labor Relations Act, and it's being tested this year, and we're going to see. I think part of our campaign to make it as easy as possible for farm workers to join a union is twofold. One, because we believe that every worker who wants to be able to join a union should be able to. But second, for the workers who don't want to, their employer should fear breaking the law. And right now, they don't. And so that's why we came at this year with a new laws outside of collective bargaining. One, which has the criminal penalty that's same as animal owners and circus operators face. And the second, giving farm workers a private right of action if an employer repeatedly doesn't provide water and shade.
One last question. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the fast pace of legislative work in Sacramento oftentimes doesn't give us the time that we need for our steering committee to kind of have lengthy conversations about it. But it's not only our steering committee coming together, but then every single organization has to go back to their own membership base and have that conversation with their members, right? And even if we have members in our office, have membership meetings twice a week or more, sometimes there's just not enough time for us to be able to bring our members in the way that we would want to every step of the way. And I think that that's always been a challenge. So I think we've always played around with different ideas on, well, how if we only have 2 hours to make a decision, what is that going to look like? And what's a democratic way that we can a truly democratic way that we can have that decision-making process happen within our coalition.
And I would maybe just add also that domestic workers actually understand the whole policy process, right, from get-go, and they were part of actually helping us write legislation that was really going to benefit them, not that was actually going to be palatable,
Right.
but really, this is what we need. We need rest breaks, we need meal breaks, things like that.
And if I could just add one more really quick point to that, and I think the challenge is oftentimes we're not asked what we think about something as well, right? So something could just happen in Sacramento, like for us to get out of suspense, people who've done legislative work before, they just make decisions in Sacramento about what's going to happen to your bill. And so trying to explain to our workers what happened to workers' compensation when that was one of their priorities, but we didn't necessarily have a say in what happened. I think that can also be really challenging.
Thank you so much. If we can give them a round of applause. And that your applause actually also goes to all the incredible, courageous workers that they're working with.